Dear students, I welcome you all in DSCJ Home Classes, a digital initiative by Directorate of School Education Jammu. Students, our today's session is for class 8th, and in this session we will study the lesson number 4 of English, and the name of this lesson is For God's Sake Hold Thy Tongue. Hold thy tongue. Thy means it is a Greek word and which means your. Means you can say that for God's sake hold your tongue. हम कई बार बोलते हैं कि भगवान के लिए अपनी जुबान संभालो या भगवान के लिए अपनी जुबान को लगाम दो. So for God's sake hold thy tongue. So in this lesson we will study about the good and bad effects of tongue. So let's start the summary of this lesson. Students, as you all know that there are many evils prevalent among people which adversely affect their lives. One such common evil is backbiting. Backbiting means to speak ill of someone else behind his back, means backbiting. In this lesson, the evil effects of backbiting have been highlighted through various religious and non-religious sources. Students, like our hands, our tongue has the power to do good or evil to others. So it is common in humans to do down others by speaking ill of them behind their back. The tongue has the power to do good or evils. Mean with our tongue, because it is the tongue which issues good or bad to others. Backbiting is common among people. Even the religious book admonish the people who backbite. Religious books do not recommend the people who indulges in backbiting. The Quran, holy book of Muslims, strongly condemns scandalmongering and character assassination. Prophet Muhammad said that the similitude of a person who indulges in backbiting is to a man who has eaten the flesh of his dead brother. Means Prophet Muhammad said that a person who indulges in backbiting, means one who speaks ill of someone behind his back, is just like that he has eaten the flesh of his dead brother. The Bible, holy book of Christians, says that a person with a good tongue is a perfect man. The Bhagavad Gita, holy book of Hindus, says that a man free from the habit of backbiting is to born to God-like endowments. Means the person who does not indulge in backbiting is just like a god. And the Guru Granth Sahib, the holy book of Sikhs, says that a backbiter carries a great burden of sins. Lord Buddha says that one requires living a life based on right speech. I mean, one should always be true to his words. So all these religious books tells us the evil effects of backbiting. They tell us that we should not indulge in backbiting. So here there is a story show the good and bad effects of our tongue. Rabbi Simon ben Gamaliel once asked his servant to bring him something good to eat. The servant brought a tongue for him. The next time, the Rabbi asked him to bring something that was not good. The servant again brought a tongue. Rabbi was very angry with his servant for bringing a tongue on both occasions. Because when he asked him to bring something good, he brought a tongue. And when asked him to bring something bad, that is which is not good, he again brought the tongue. So in both the occasions, he brought the tongue. At this, The Rabbi got angry. Then the servant explained that there was nothing better than a good tongue and nothing worse than an evil one. Servant explained that it is the tongue which could be good as well as it could be worse. From the tongue issues the good and also the bad. There is nothing better than a good tongue and nothing worse than an evil one. Means when you want to say something to else, your voice should be, if you are speaking in a good tone, then it will have a good effect on the listener. And if you speak some harsh words to another one, to someone else, it will have bad effects. So at both in, you can say that in both the situation, it is the your tongue which can do good or bad to yourself as well as to the others. So the servant explained that there was nothing better than a good tongue and nothing worse than an evil one. So, students, I think it is clear to you that how a tongue can do good or bad to yours as well as to others. So, this is the summary of this beautiful story. For God's sake, hold thy tongue. Now let us move to the questions and answers of this lesson. So very first is, what do the Quran and the traditions of the Prophet tells us on backbiting and scandal mongering? I mean, what is the teachings of the Quran regarding backbiting and scandal mongering? The Quran strongly condemns those who indulge in scandal mongering and admonish them. Prophet Muhammad said that a person who indulges in backbiting is like a man who has eaten the flesh of his dead brother. Second question is, what do the Gita and Bible, holy books of Hindus and Christians respectively, tell us on backbiting? The Bhagavad Gita tells that a person free from the habit of backbiting is like a god. And the Bible says that a person free from the habit of backbiting is a perfect man having control over his body. So religious books, they do not recommend backbiting. They also criticizes backbiting. They said that one should not indulge in backbiting or scandal mongering. Then third question is, what do the Granth Sahib and Lord Buddha tell us on backbiting? The Guru Granth Sahib tell us that a backbiter carries a great burden of his sins, and Lord Buddha lays stress on a right speech as a path towards salvation. In one should be true. Next question is, why did the servant of Rabbi Simon bring tongues both the times? According to servant, it is the tongue that issues good as well as bad words. There is nothing better than a good tongue and nothing worse than an evil one. That is why the servant brought tongues on both the occasions. So I told you that it is the tongue which can do good or as well as bad to yourself as well as to others. The next question is, why did Rabbi Simon invite his disciples for a meal? Rabbi Simon wanted to teach his disciples here are the followers, wanted to teach his disciples an important lesson. So he invited them for a meal and served them both hard and soft tongues. The disciples ate soft tongues only. At this, Rabbi told them that everybody rejects hard tongue. So one should be soft in one's conversation. Hard tongue mean harsh words or bad words. You can say that. And soft tongue mean pleasuring words. So one should be soft in one's conversation. He should not speak ill of others. He should not indulge in backbiting. What, according to you, is the moral of the lesson? I mean, what did you learn from this lesson? The moral of this lesson is that we should not speak ill of others behind their backs. I mean, one should not indulge in backbiting. Next question is, how does our tongue do good or bad to others? The tongue does well if one holds it and does not speak badly about others. It proves to be bad if it is given liberty. I mean, if you continuously, if you are very talkative and you does not have any control on your tongue, that your tongue is at liberty, then you can speak badly about others. So one should hold one's tongue. When we use a soft tongue while talking to others, it gives them pleasure. And when we use a hard tongue in conversation, it hurts others' feeling and break their heart. So one should always be soft in their conversation. So students, I think these questions and their answers are clear to you. Now let's move to the next part of this lesson, that is language work. So student, here some words are given to you and you need to add the correct ending to each of these words and say what each person does or is connected with. Some words are given to you, you need to add something to these words so that it becomes a person, and you need to tell that what does that person do or it is connected with. Very first word is govern. So you add or, it becomes governor, means one who governs, one who controls. Then cater. So cater here is the caterer. So caterer means one who provides food or drink for a social or business function. Then translate. So or, on adding or, it becomes translator, mean one who translates writing or speech from one language to another. Usually we see that when our ministers goes to another country and they are unable to understand their language, they usually take someone who can convert their language from one country to another, from the language of one country to another, so that the leaders could understand what they are saying. Novel, novelist, a person who writes novels. Tour, on adding ist, it becomes tourist, mean a person who visit a place for pleasure and interest. Politics, so politician, a person who jobs in politics. Decorate, so from this you can make the word decorator, a person who decorates the inside of people's house. Then art, mean artist who draws or paints picture. Economic, so economist, an economist is a person who studies or teaches or writes about economics. Drama, mean dramatist, a person who writes plays. Cricket, cricketer, you all are aware of that, a person who plays cricket. Engine, engineer, so person who use scientific knowledge to design, construct and maintain engines or structures like roads, railways and bridges. History, the historians, a person who specializes in the study of history. A person who study the history is the historian. Then mountain, a person who climbs the mountain is the mountaineer. Donate, when someone gives something to another, then it is the donator. Then science, a person who does research in science is the scientist. Teach, teacher, a person who teaches. Then electricity, from this you can make the word electrician. So electrician is a person whose job is to install or repair electrical equipments. Then writer is made from the word write, a person who writes books. Speaker is made from word speak. So speaker is a person who makes a speech at a gathering. Then win, you can make the word winner. So winner is a person who wins a contest or a competition. Then is the mathematics, means from this you can derive the word mathematician, a person who is trained in mathematics. So these are the some words from which you made another words which are related with a person who does or is associated with some kind of activity. Then some fill-ups are given to you and you need to put the correct word in those fill-ups. Very first is two people were dash injured in the accident. So two people were seriously injured. The driver of the car had injuries, serious or seriously, so serious injuries. Razia is dash upset about losing her job. So Razia is terribly upset. There was dash change in the weather. So was a sudden change. Everybody at the marriage party was colorfully dressed. Aslam speaks English fluently. Do not go up that ladder. It doesn't look safe. So some words are given to you and you need to put these words in the blanks, correct words. So highlighted words are the correct words which you can fill in the given blanks. Now students, I think summary, question answers and the language work is clear to you. So this is all about this story. For God's sake, hold thy tongue. Now students, you should practice and revise it at home because practice makes a man perfect. You should note down these questions along with the language on your notebook. So I hope everything is clear to you. Thank you. Have a nice day. Stay home, stay safe, and stay happy.